Welcome back to the Seahawks Social, ladies, gentlemen, Hawks fans, 12s. A little bit of a somber weekend for us. A valiant effort in the second half to come back, but the Hawks fall short in the Divisional Round against the Packers. The season is done. We are proud of the boys. Looking forward to big things in the next few years. But excited to recap this game and just share our thoughts. Here we go. Lucas, you got a drink to cheers to?
Yeah, I do. Let's cheers to the Seahawks making it through all these injuries, and we'll pour one out to the refs for kicking us out of the playoffs early.
It was a fun season. I wasn't expecting much going into the year. I thought we'd be a mediocre team that squeaks into the playoffs, and I was surprised. They proved my expectations wrong. I was very impressed with how good we were halfway through the year. And if we stay injury-free, I think we're a serious Super Bowl contender. But having that big injury reserve list definitely made this week happen, I think.
Well, that and Myers. Let's get to that too. Just saying.
Wow. This might be a new record for Lucas. Myers' name brought up in the first 42 seconds of the podcast.
Well, just saying, did he not miss a field goal? I think he did. 51 yards, to be exact. Yep. That could have helped us a little bit. Just a little bit.
The floor is yours, Lucas. I will give you free reign on venting.
So I say it's time to start a round out with some fans to try out for kicking, and we can free up $15 million on our salary cap next year, which we can pay Clowney, and then life is good.
You know what? I actually like this topic as a starting point for tonight's episode. Changes that need to be made moving into next year.
Well, we might as well talk about that at some point, right?
Fuck, let's talk about it right now.
The secondary, please.
Well, God, yeah. Liabilities. We have a liability out there, man. So, I like our offense. Our offense, start there for a second. Our offense, like, Russell's got some key contenders. He's got targets. Great. When our running backs are back and healthy, I like it. We just need to figure out Joey Hunt. But did you hear Joey Hunt had a stress fracture in his fibula for like the last 3 weeks?
Yes.
Jeez.
And he also dislocated his finger in the first quarter of this week.
Yeah.
And they just
that's okay, but that's okay. But we need Britt back. It's true.
To me, add to this if you like. To me, a kicker is not at the top of the list. I think it's on the list because it proves. Well, the last few weeks prove that just like under pressure situations, he's mediocre. And to win Super Bowls, I think we have a caliber of team healthy to win a Super Bowl. We want someone who is going to be clutch at the end of the game. And Myers to me is a question mark. But at the top of my list, Lucas,
yes,
you tell me if I'm incorrect or you want to steer another way. But to me, the top two things in my list for 2020 are an offensive coordinator at the top. I think Schottenheimer is extremely, extremely mediocre at best and way too conservative to win big football games, as proven by our atrocious first halves. Like, it's shocking.
Yep.
All season, nothing changed. All season, every fucking game, it seems like we're down 14-0, 17-3. Like, it's ridiculous. We literally have the best player in the league on our team, and he doesn't get to touch the ball until the second half. I don't understand.
Yeah. What is their? I don't get their plan on this. Like, we don't do anything until the second half. So why do we even play it?
It's just play calling. I don't understand. They keep talking about setting up the run game, but how outstanding can our run game be if Russ puts up 130 yards in the first quarter, and now they're trying to drop back 6 DBs just to cover these guys, and now we execute the running game?
Yeah, and their running game clearly wasn't working. You can't just run Lynch straight into a pack of 10 people every fucking play. Like, what are we doing?
I was going to say, there was a series in the first half where they gave the ball to Lynch 3 times in a row, and it was just a 3 and out. 3 running plays back to back to back.
You know how many yards he got on those
straight up the gut. Straight up
how
the
many?
gut.
None.
Let's try it again.
Exactly. It was 4th and 10. Like, what the fuck are we doing? I
don't get it.
This is my thing, Lucas. To run the ball effectively, you need a few key pieces. One is an athletic, strong running back. We definitely had that throughout the year. But the bigger part is an offensive line, which we have not had at all this year, right? We got Dwayne Brown back, which is fantastic. He's a very, very good football player.
Yeah.
But we have the second worst offensive line in the league. Why is our whole strategy to set up the run game? We don't have anyone blocking.
Yeah.
Why not go some play action, get Russell out of the pocket? That's where he creates. Why not start the game with a big play action?
They just love being so safe. But like the second half, like play action opens up everything. They look like a completely different team.
It's so silly.
Play action opens up everything. Yeah, like
what was the score at halftime? 21-3. So they won the second half 20-7.
Yeah.
And I get in the second half, Green Bay's game plan changes. They're up 21-3 at halftime. They're going to run the ball. They're trying to run out a lot of time with each possession. I get that their game plan changes. I'm just confused. Like literally the weakest part of our team is our offensive line. And then our entire offensive game plan is involved around the offensive line. I'm so confused.
Yeah. Well, and for such a weak offensive line, why are we running the ball up the gut? Why can't you go down the sides? Like, let's play some kind of, like, let's just do something different. It doesn't fucking work.
That is actually a great point. Why did Lynch get so many touches at the beginning of the game?
I don't know. I don't know if it was just to wake him up and get him into the game, and maybe there's some magic, or is it his last game and they just were like, this is the guy, we're going to march him out? Because did Homer even touch the ball in the first half?
So that's the thing, is Homer went from having a great game to a couple great games against San Fran and then against the Eagles last week to carrying the ball.
All of a sudden, Lynch is the guy.
He carried the ball 3 times this week.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't get it.
That's very confusing. Because Lynch is not an outside runner, right? They're not throwing tosses to Lynch. Lynch is an up the gut guy.
Yeah. But it worked too last game when we were putting Homer in, then Lynch in, then Homer in, then Lynch in, and it was different plays, it was play action. So it was confusing the defense because they didn't know what to really do. But in this case, they just knew, oh, Lynch gets the ball, he's going to run it up the gut, so we're just going to stop him. Well, you spent half an hour of a game wasting that. So why? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Carl mentioned that possession, and I remember it really well, that they ran the ball down the middle 3 times in a row, gained 0 yards, and punted. And I'm just scratching my head watching this game, trying to figure out what is the goal with this system that Schottenheimer's trying to do here. And I'm lost. I don't get it.
The thing with Homer, too, is like he was a receiving threat out the back. So another option.
Well, yeah. That's what, like, I don't get it, man. And then we were playing, was it just me? But at least maybe I'm dreaming this, but were we playing 3 linebackers the whole fucking game? Like, we can't. Like Kendricks is out, so we put in some other guy. Who was the new guy that was in last week? Yeah, like he's a rookie. What are we doing? We gave him so much opportunity that game. Why? He didn't do anything. Caused us big plays.
I don't know the answer to that. I think the reason that they play that system, they play 4-3, and they play a lot of zone coverage in the back, is just because they don't think they have the athletes to compete man-to-man. And as was proven, what was that guy's name? Devontae Adams, like one of the best receivers in the league. Phenomenal athlete.
Oh my
But matching Flowers up with him just doesn't make sense, right? Flowers has potential. He's a really athletic, big corner, and I understand that we want to get him a lot of playing time so that in 3 years from now he's a stud. But matching him up one-on-one with one of the best receivers in the league, Devontae Adams had 8 receptions and 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. Didn't work out well.
This has happened a few times during the season too, right? Where like wide receivers just have enormous games against the Seahawks.
Remember that
Mike
Tampa
Evans?
Bay game?
Mike Evans, yeah.
Didn't he have like 230 or
it
something?
It was something insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we have to invest in a CB1.
I think, or at least draft one, a high draft pick, because all the quarterbacks are going to go. It's going to be like top 5 quarterbacks. So by the time we creep down into our picks, there's got to be some good cornerbacks in that as a rookie out there.
So
better than Flowers.
Where do you place DBs on our list of must-haves for next year? Because to me, it's offensive coordinator and offensive line at the top.
Yep. Then for sure D-backs, and I think kicker at the top, let's be honest.
So Lucas's list is kicker number 1, then what?
Kicker number 1. Well, this is it. So you get rid of Myers and you bring somebody else in, because then you free up that cap space to give money to Clowney. Because I think Clowney, we need to sign Clowney. We can't let him go. I think if we let him go, we're screwed.
It's an interesting conversation.
He's going to cost us $20 million.
Right. And that's an interesting conversation to have, is we have 0 pass rush currently, right? Ansa is our second best guy. Clowney's number 1. Ansa is our second best guy. Both are free agents. If Clowney gets signed, he's an $18 to $20 million a year guy. So is it worth it to keep one guy like Clowney versus take that $20 million that he would make next year and disperse it between 3 or 4 potentials for, let's say, a cornerback, probably a linebacker, and or 2 DNs?
You guys hear me? I lost you for a bit.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
You think we need linebackers?
I think Bobby Wagner is good. I think Kendricks is injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
And KJ Wright's nearing the end of his career, right? He's older. 32, 33.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, that's an old linebacker.
But you also see that, like,
right?
you agree that we need to sign Clowney, right?
So, okay, that was my question. It might have cut out. That was my question, is what, and this is an honest question, you give me your thoughts on. Do you think it's worth signing a guy like Clowney for $20 million or dispersing that $20 million over 3 guys that maybe we get a D-end, up-and-coming D-end, a cornerback, and an O-lineman? And it's an honest question. I don't know the answer to. He's a stud. I totally get it.
I don't know.
Whoever gets him, is, whether it's us or someone else, like, he's a complete game changer. I get it. But based on where the Seahawks are today, Russell Wilson wins games regardless of whether we should win them or not. He's going to win 8 to 10 football games a year by himself, literally. So do we invest that money in making the D not one of the worst Ds in the league? Or do we keep one guy just because he's a stud? There's so many missing pieces to me on the D right now.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that either. I don't even know the options. I don't know what our salary is, what our salary cap's going to be, like how much money we have to spend. But I mean, as you can tell, the last 2 games we had 0 turnovers, so we need turnovers. And Clowney right now is our only option at it seemed like who could get anything going in turnovers. We're not getting any interceptions. We're not knocking anything down. Clowney's the only guy who can get to the quarterback.
It seemed like that's where we won close games, was forcing a couple turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2 games we forced 0, which, man, I felt like that game against Green Bay was very winnable. Like the first half was literally went as poor as it could have, and we were still very much in the game at the end to win.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of missing pieces that I don't know the answer. I want to say I really like Clowney and I want to keep him, but at the same time there are a lot of holes. Like even with Clowney this year, we were one of the worst defenses in the league for rushing the passer.
Yeah.
One of the worst. And we had one of, let's say, top 3 DNs in the league on our team. So with no one else on that D line, Ansa was injured like at least half the season. So I understand he's a threat as well when he's healthy, but he just wasn't healthy all year. So when it's Clowney and 3 other guys that just aren't doing anything, Clowney just gets double teamed.
The thing with Clowney,
what's the point of having him?
Yeah, exactly. Triple teamed even.
Yeah.
And the thing with him too is like, how many games this year was he at 100%?
Oh,
he's been super 4? Injury prone.
Yeah.
Like, and the core is pretty serious usually because like that's everything, right?
He's having surgery this week on it.
Well, there you go. I don't think he's worth keeping. I think we get, like you said, 2 or 3 guys to help plug up. Maybe offensive lineman, a CB1, and a linebacker, something like that. Because there are a lot of holes.
What
do you think, Lucas?
I think we need Clowney. I really do. I think without Clowney, I get that we need all those other pieces in place. I get that. And I think that we need to work on defense first and then our offensive line second. Just because you got to think Britt is going to come back. And if Britt can at least last more than 8 weeks, then we have a fighting shot. With Disley in as well, awesome. And with our running backs in, awesome. Hollister came out of nowhere this year, and he's a second threat. Maybe we move him. Does he stay at tight end? I don't know. But he's there. He's an option for something. And he's obviously not going to cost us a ton of money. So where do we spend our money? And if you don't sign Clowney, then now you're either going to have to pick somebody else up in free agency, which is going to cost you a ton of money, or you have to draft it. But then now we're looking for a dime, or just praying that we get like a Bosa or somebody as a rookie. But I don't think we're getting that.
If the Seahawks have done one thing well, they've done a lot of things well in the last few years, but they've drafted really well. For whatever reason, I don't really follow the draft that closely, but you look at like picking up a guy like DK Metcalf in the late second round. You look at their draft class, their Russell Wilson draft class here with like Wagner and Wilson. They draft really well. I'm kind of leaning towards where Carl's head is at, is that Clowney, phenomenal talent, fantastic D-end, one of the best in the league. Is he worth $20 million to our specific team? I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't say yes 100% we need to keep that guy, especially knowing like how many games did he play this year? He probably sat out 4 or 5 with injuries, and now he's going through a surgery. I don't know. I see someone like, well, it could be a Baltimore. Could be someone like that who goes after a guy like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Has pieces around him already, whereas like literally the Seahawks are trying to rebuild the defense around Bobby Wagner.
Yeah. Well, and you got to think that too. Like if like Clowney even signed with us. That's the thing. Clowney's only going to sign with a contender. He's given it one last shot.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got the option to do it. He could take a pay cut if that means he's going to somebody like Baltimore or San Fran or whoever he wants to, because he can go wherever he wants. But I don't know if he'll even sign with Seahawks for all we know.
To me, a healthy Seahawks team is really scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we lost literally. We lost one. How many touchdowns did Disley have in the first? I think he played 6 weeks and then tore his Achilles. I think he had 5 touchdowns and like 400 or 500 yards.
He had 6.
He had 6 touchdowns in the first 6 games. Was it? Did he play 6? I think he tore it in week 6, something like that. Anyway, like, we lost a lot of guys this year.
Sure.
We lost one. Like, Carson was having a fantastic year again at running back.
Disley had 4 touchdowns.
If in 6 games, he played 6 games.
He had 4 touchdowns. Okay. It just seemed like every week we lose someone. Again, like, a healthy Diggs is phenomenal. I just don't know if he's been healthy at all. Like, he came back last week and didn't do a ton, but his presence is felt there. People go away from him. I think Shaq Griffin is a good corner. I think he's a great starter. I don't know if he's a number one guy that people try to avoid.
No. Like
a Richard Sherman?
Mm-mm.
I don't know, man. The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm thinking the $20 million. First of all, is someone going to pay $20 million for Clowney? How old is he?
Who has that much money?
He's in his 6th year now, so he's still early 20s.
He's 26.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay, he's that young. I thought he was a bit older.
He's still early.
So someone will probably pay $18 million for him.
Like, we have the money.
Yeah, I don't think the cap space is necessarily. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if to the Seahawks team as is, Clowney's worth $20 million. Maybe 15. I just think there's a lot of missing pieces on defense that they need to go after. Flowers definitely, like, obviously Flowers is a guy that I love and hate at the same time. And I've seen brilliant things out of him at times throughout the year, but big rookie mistakes at other times. And he's new to that position, right? He didn't play that position in college.
No, I don't think so. I think he's new.
Yeah. I can't remember. Was he a receiver or like a free safety? I can't remember, but he didn't play that position in college, so he's learning. This is his 2nd year. He's going to get better. He's got a super athletic body. What?
Do you think he'd be like a number 1 guy, though?
Flowers? No. Based on what I saw this year, no. But again, he's young, so who knows? That might be one of the hardest positions in the league, man.
100%. Cornerback is the hardest in the fucking league.
You're literally covering the most athletic humans in the world running full speed at you.
Forwards, yeah, and you're fucking going backwards. Yeah.
It's so hard.
You have to like turn your head and trace the ball too.
Is that George again?
Yes, it is.
Fuck, man. Carl's dad, without fail, every time we do a call-in podcast, Carl's dad interrupts.
I can hear you now.
I've talked to him like 3 times on the phone too. In my life.
Oh, man.
Who are you talking about?
Carl's dad. He just called. That's why I interrupted. All right. Well, what else do we need? To me, the biggest things are the offense was not run very well from the coaching position, in my opinion, this year. So that to me is an important thing. Or just don't have one. Let Russell Wilson call plays. I don't give a shit. But Schottenheimer did not do a good job. Second is offensive line. Well, maybe second is pass rush. Third is offensive line. You know what? The secondary, sure, they had very weak points throughout the year. But if we get some sort of pressure on their opposing team's QB, the secondary starts looking a little better, right?
Right, for sure. But an offensive line helps the run game. So it's kind of
We had one of the best run games in the league going in, before Carson got hurt.
How can you have?
And we don't have an offensive line.
I know. How does
That's
that
how
work?
good they were.
That's so crazy. So do maybe,
right? Like let's say we add 2 decent linemen next year.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're close to being one of the best offenses in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone hates on the receiving core. Fuck you guys. Because healthy Lockett is one of the hardest guys to cover in the league.
He had a great game against Green Bay too.
Yeah. DK Metcalf gets better every game and is just a coverage nightmare. Who do you cover that guy with? Do you cover him with a big corner like Flowers?
Too slow.
Yep. Do you cover? He runs a 4.3.
Yeah,
that's 6'4", right?
He's 6'4", 240. Runs a 4.3. Those numbers don't make sense to me.
No.
Or do you cover him with a short, quick guy?
But then the size difference.
Then you get fucked both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I like those guys a lot. And then having a Disley as a really good third receiving option, to me, most teams in the league would die for those 3 guys. And then Carson was one of the best backs in the league without an offensive line. If we had 2 offensive linemen, we have one of the best 3 offenses in the league.
We also had Rashard Penny coming up at the end there, right before he got hurt.
Right?
Great secondary option.
Games.
Yeah.
What's his likelihood of coming back strong next year? Because he broke his leg, right?
Bro, a break isn't too bad.
Your leg?
Penny?
Yeah.
No, Penny broke his arm, didn't he?
No, Procise broke his arm.
Sorry, yeah.
You know what I heard recently, just in the last few days, is that Carson's hip, he fractured his hip, and they thought he was going to have surgery, but it has been healing better than expected, so he didn't have to have surgery, which is a big positive moving forward for next year. You know what?
God.
Maybe he should have surgery on his hands to hold on the ball, though.
Rashad had an ACL tear.
Oh, that's right. Shit. That's not ideal. That's like a 9-month recovery, isn't it?
That's a long one.
So he won't even start the year next year. No.
But then I'm reading on here, it says he's not going to get surgery and is expected to be ready for the 2020 training camp. So
he's not going to get surgery on a torn ACL?
I don't know.
How's that possible? Don't you need to have surgery on that?
Maybe they just did a quick one. We're going to do another more serious one.
What?
That's crazy.
Wouldn't that be phenomenal if humans were just like, what are those animals that lose their tail? Is it chameleon?
Any lizard, I think. Most lizards.
Any lizard.
Gecko.
You just lose something, you break your leg. Tomorrow you just regrow a new one. Wouldn't be too bad, eh? That'd be a lot better for football players. Get a concussion, chop off your neck, regrow a head.
So apparently not all ACL tears require surgery.
So it's not fully
Maybe it's
torn.
a partial, yeah.
His injury didn't look like anything. Like it didn't look that bad. If I remember correctly.
Well, then that's good news at least.
Yeah. All right. Well, we could talk about what we need for a long time. I feel like this would not be a proper end to the season without really voicing our thoughts on the shocking NFL rule changes and review system that is currently in place.
Are you talking about that Jimmy Graham call?
We could use a few examples from this game, and I am not biased at all in this approach to how poorly the NFL is dealing with this system. Because in the first quarter, I think on Homer's first carry, which is maybe why he only got 3 carries, on his first carry, gets hit, fumbles the ball, clearly a fumble. Green Bay picks it up, clearly a recovery. And yet the ref calls him down by contact. So by rule in their crazy, fucked up rule system, because he was ruled down by contact, they need to go to a review, see if he was not down by contact. If he was not down by contact and the ball comes out, then they need to have what they determine. No one really knows what this means, but what they determine as a clear recovery. So great job by whoever the receiver was. I think it was Turner. I think it was Turner. Anyway, Lucas, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So Homer fumbles the ball, clear fumble.
Yeah.
The Green Bay guy picks it up, but Turner kind of falls on top of him. And so, like, the camera angles didn't necessarily show what the NFL determines. Again, no one knows what this means. Clear recovery. And they give the Seahawks the ball back. How does that make any sense?
There's so many weird calls in that game. Like that that one touchdown from Green Bay was not a touchdown.
Aaron Jones on the.
So that may have been the most frustrating play in the game to me, because from the camera angle on TV, it was extremely clear that the ref that called a touchdown could not see the player holding the ball. There was two dudes standing right in front of him. And the guy wasn't even close to the end zone. He was like, I'd say almost a half yard short. But again, with this bullshit fucking rule, like, I don't understand why this, like, well, it was called a touchdown on the field by someone who clearly couldn't see the ball, yet we have to trust his judgment. He's likely getting paid off. Fuck you. This rule that there needs to be clear and obvious evidence. So you need to have how many fucking different cameras on the field? 39,000 different angles? How many angles can we get?
Still not enough, man.
How many can we get?
Yeah.
Because there's bodies in the way? No fucking shit there's bodies in the way. They're on the goal line. There's 19 dudes standing on the line of scrimmage. Of course there's bodies in the way. It's very clear by the replays that the ball did not cross the goal line. But since you couldn't see the ball, the tip of the ball, and the goal line at the same time, play is upheld. That is a terrible fucking rule.
Just flip a coin, man. There's no
terrible.
reffing. There's no reffing. There's nothing.
Why don't they go back to the camera angle of where the ref called the touchdown and see, oh shit, well, the ref couldn't see the ball at all. So he probably fucked up.
Exactly.
It's the
That's
same
what
shit.
they need to do.
So,
Like that guy should not be allowed to make the call. Should have been the other guy.
and the guy that had the good angle said he was short, right? He comes in like this. This is down, right? Lucas, I'm waving my hands. And then the guy that can't see calls the fucking touchdown.
Brutal.
Again, to me, it's hard. Like, you can't predict what's going to happen if a call gets changed, but like, then it's 1-1, right? To me, the Seahawks clearly fumble the ball. Green Bay clearly picks up the ball. Somehow the Seahawks get the ball back. Don't know why. Then this stupid bullshit touchdown. Was that a third down run too? I think it was.
I'm pretty sure it was, yes.
So in all likelihood, I think the Packers were probably up 7-0 at that time. So in all likelihood, they're kicking a field goal at that point to make it 10-0 rather than going for it on 4th and 1 or whatever.
100%.
It's a playoff game. Put points on the board. Both very big plays, because I think Homer fumbled the ball on like our own 30. So it would have completely changed field possession, obviously. I don't know if they're equal or not, but they're both fuck ups. So my point with this review system is, why do we have a review system if we cannot get the call correct? Why are we wasting everyone's time for 5 minutes looking at an iPad just to come back and say, I don't know what I just saw. Guess we're just going to keep it the same, guys.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I'm losing my absolute shit on these fucking things. Literally with the Green Bay, with the fumble, I come back and I'm like, oh, they fucked up. I don't know how we kept the ball there. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense.
Yeah, brutal. And every call there that for some reason they didn't overturn anything. They're just like, no, it just stands. Everything stands.
So then I go back to the olden days, right? We have refs in place. We understand they're human beings. We understand the players playing the game are hundreds of thousands of times more athletic than these old white dudes that are reffing them. in their 60s. We understand. They're going to make mistakes. We get it. What the fuck is the point of the review system if we just allow the mistakes to stand?
Are the refs like too scared to make a call on that? Like, they just want to go with the play and just kind of ignore everything.
Okay, so that is part of this new review system, is that the refs are now taught to let anything that's close, let it go, so that you can review it and turn it back.
But then if you're making a fucking call and you can't even see the play, what's happening, doesn't that have a huge impact? Like, because then if it's called a touchdown on the field, it has to be clear evidence for it to be overturned. And the guy calling the touchdown can't even fucking see the ball.
So again,
that's the issue, right?
That is my issue with this system, is that unless it's clear to you to see it, if it's close, leave it and then review to bring 100%, it back, right?
Yeah.
So with the fumble, it was obviously close enough. Like after reviewing, it was extremely obvious that he fumbled the ball. So in real time, if it was extremely obvious in a replay, in real time, it must have been pretty close. So let the fumble go. Let the fumble go.
Let the play
understand who picks it up. Green Bay clearly picks it up. And then see if someone's knee was down.
For sure. Once the play is over.
Yes.
Yeah. But they're stopping these plays too early. It happened like a few weeks ago too. I forget who was playing, but they picked up a ball. But then the refs just call it dead, and the guy's like halfway down the field.
I know.
And they just fucking come back, and it's their ball. They get the ball, but they couldn't score the touchdown. It's so crazy.
So it almost seems like to me that they're just scared to overturn things.
I think so too.
So why do we have this review system? We're not making anyone happy. Either make the right calls, and there was 3 really bad ones, in my opinion, in this game. Fumble, touchdown, first down at the end of the game. Why do we have the system? Why not go back to the olden times and just say, refs get to make calls. We understand they're human. They're going to make mistakes both ways. It is what it is. Why have the review system if we're not changing things to the right calls?
Yeah. They got to look at it and just be like, okay, so who do we want to win this game? Let's just give them that.
That's
who do you have
problem.
your money on, George? Hey, George, who did you bet on today? I bet on the Packers. Okay, don't overturn it.
NFL refs have such a huge impact on the game. I don't think there's any sport like it. Sure, NBA, you can call fouls and stuff, but like the refs actually fucking decide where the ball gets put on the field, and it's a game of inches.
Even look at that last play of the game maybe last game. The one that we basically, it screwed us. Like it was definitely not a first down, but they gave him the first down. They looked at it 1,000 different ways. Then they came back and said, the call stands. And then they got taken back to go again to look. And then they said, yeah, it still stands. Like, what is going on here? Clearly did not stand.
It's just, it's shockingly embarrassing for the NFL. And as one of like a massive corporation that makes billions of dollars a year, it's so fucking embarrassing to have a ref come back onto the field and say, after, what did they say? After like new footage was brought to us, and we still would like to call the play to stand.
A secret camera
Where
angle.
the fuck was the footage 3 minutes ago?
I know.
Enhance.
What the hell? Like, they're showing everything to us on TV immediately after it happens. Why is New York not seeing this? Like, I don't understand.
Do you think we need like in the ball and like fucking lasers on the goal line and stuff, or?
That's what they should do. Why not?
In the ball?
In the ball, on the like the inside of the skin.
It would have to be in all the laces though, because it would have to cover the whole ball.
You have to cover the whole ball on the inside, yeah. And probably just shoot the laser beams down the sideline or whatever, or through the end zone for sure, right? And if that gets triggered, then you know it's gone across the line.
Yeah,
the NFL, man, I don't know what the right answer is. Mm-hmm. And after seeing 2019, after seeing this football season, my honest opinion is we need to go back in time. Because this system fucking sucks. Everything about it. Pass interferences are completely awful. They've completely fucked up the game with this stupid bullshit pass interference review garbage system. What did they overturn? 9 out of 988.
It's crazy.
And probably half of them were incorrectly called after this review bullshit system.
100%. Yep.
I don't get it. Go back in time. Say it's a game that happens way too fast for us to understand how to call it. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to try our best. Don't give us this bullshit about the play stands because we didn't have clear evidence. Fuck you. It doesn't make, like, it doesn't, this is not the right system. Start from scratch.
I feel like the way you're saying, there was better consistency, right? Because now you're not stopping the game. You're not looking at cameras. You're not being influenced by that. It's what you call on the field, and that's it. You're going to call it the same way on both teams, right?
Part of the problem with this, if you're talking PI specifically, this makes absolutely no sense. So if the call on the field is no PI, to go back and review if a coach calls a challenge, the terminology of actually calling the penalty is different than if it happens live, right?
Jesus.
So the terminology is, it needs to be this fucking made up word, egregious. It needs to be an egregious penalty. But in real life, if there's pass interference, if you interfere with the player trying to catch the ball, if you tackle him before the ball gets there, it's pass interference.
Yeah.
But going back to review, they completely change what the foul is.
It has to be so extreme.
It's a different foul.
It is.
So what are we challenging? We're challenging a different foul now.
Well, a PI can be as simple as grabbing someone's hand or just the slightest touch, right? Anything that interferes with you being able to receive the ball. But like you're saying, what the fuck?
Egregious.
Egregious. So what, the guy has to end up on the ground or what?
I don't know. No one knows. That's the problem. The refs don't know. New York doesn't know. The NFL doesn't know. They just made up a word that sounds fun to say. Everyone loves saying it on podcasts. It's really fun. The commentators, fucking Troy Aikman, who's one of the worst in the league, he loves saying the words. It's really fun, guys. Egregious. It wasn't egregious. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. Why are we changing the penalty? We're not changing the fumble rule by reviewing it. We're seeing if the guy's knee or shoulder or elbow is down. And we're calling it a fumble or not a fumble based on the actual rules of the game. We're not going into review and saying, oh, because we didn't call PI, it's got to be this new rule that we made up this year. No one really knows what it means, but it's got to be pretty bad, guys. It's got to be pretty bad. No, it's the fucking rule. The rule is pass interference. So review the rule. Don't make up a fucking new rule to review.
Lucas, how do you feel?
Oh, BS. I just feel like I really want to be in a position with the team, and I know it's going to be a few years from now, hopefully not, where we don't have to even care what the refs say or don't say. We're just blowing teams out of the water anyways. Who fucking cares? That's what I want. I don't want to be just winning shit by 3 to 8 points every game. I want some like consistency. I want to believe my team's going to actually destroy somebody. And I just hate the fact that San Fran's starting to turn into that. It really hurts.
The reason for my outburst is not necessarily Seahawks driven. I really, really love the sport of American football. It is so much better designed than Canadian football. It's not even funny. It is, for me, the most entertaining, exciting, fun, crazy sport to watch. The NFL's trying to fuck with it, and I'm not excited about it. Regardless of whether I'm a Seahawks fan or not, watching any football game is so much more frustrating because the refs and this bullshit review system, they don't know what they're doing. No one knows. Every game it's different. They're changing the rules because of this review system, and it doesn't make any sense. So yes, I'm upset that the Seahawks lost, and there was 3 reviews that I think they got all 3 wrong. So great system, guys. You're 0 for 3 in one fucking game. One was not even Seahawks favored, so I don't feel like I'm being super biased here. It was clearly a fumble. Green Bay clearly picked it up. Green Bay should have the ball. how the fuck is this a good, like, I don't get it. Someone explain it to me. Can we write a fucking letter, like, to someone? Hey, dear Mr. NFL, what is his name? Goodell?
Roger.
Jesus. You want to talk about Donald Trump being bad at his job? Talk about fucking Roger Goodell. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. What is this system? It's a terrible system. Something needs to happen. Otherwise, this is going to be a very fun podcast because you're going to hear a lot more shit like this.
Well, this system was brought into place after that the Saints missed call last year in the playoffs, right? But now they're fucking up even more calls with it. Maybe they try something again next year.
This is my problem. It sounds like a politician to me, right? Mm-hmm. You're running for office. You're saying, I'm going to give money to the poor. I'm going to tax the rich. It's going to be a great country. I'm going to give free healthcare to everyone. I'm going to kiss all the babies. It's going to be great. I'm going to walk by you on the street. I'm just going to hand you $1,000. Fuck you. It's the same. This NFL bullshit. Oh, you know what? We really fucked up last year. It was an egregious call. We missed it. Sorry, guys. You know what we're going to do? We're going to please all the NFL fans out there. We're going to bring in this review system. We not only review touchdowns and fumbles now, we're going to review pass interference. Mm-hmm. We're going to say we review pass interference, but we're not really interested in overturning anything. We're just going to say and give the coaches the fun opportunity to throw that red flag one more time.
Another TV timeout too.
Completely changed the rule of pass interference, guys. NFL.com, whoever you are, whatever this bullshit system is that you're building, it sucks. You need to adjust.
Carl, I like where you went with that because that's likely what it is. They're like, you know what? We need to review this play when really we need to make some more money for our owners. So we're going to go to a commercial break.
Yeah.
And we'll come back. Oh, no, we need to go back and look at it one more time.
Still don't know the call.
Yeah. I'm okay with it though, Lucas. I'm okay with that as long as it improves the game. So if it improves the calling on the field, if it improves the sport in terms of getting things correct, I'm okay with it. Mm. You can't challenge everything. I get that. You can't challenge everything. Pass interference is one that is so difficult to call on the field because it is happening extremely fast. I get it. But if you're reviewing it, you need to keep the rule the same and you need to call it based on what the rule is. You can't change the rule because it's reviewed. Is it a pass interference or not? It's very easy to tell in a review in slow motion whether it's pass interference or not. It's very easy.
Yeah.
Don't change the rule. It's like, oh, fumbles in real life, in real time, your knee has to be down. But if you review it, your knee and your elbow and your shoulder and your mouth guard and your left third toenail need to be on the grass to call it a fumble or to not be on the grass. Like, it's completely changing the rule. I don't like that at all.
Nope. Yeah. Bullshit.
So just consistency. That's what's missing right now. Exactly. The whole problem arises when a referee makes a call and he doesn't see the play. That's where the whole issue arises. But I feel like they have to get it out. They have to make a play. They have to call something.
So again, I want to give the actual referees some sort of benefit of the doubt here. And I'm going to assume that they're all trying to do their best. They're human beings. I get it. We all make mistakes. And let's say, for example, that touchdown that was not a touchdown, that they called a touchdown, that they reviewed that was not a touchdown, but they still left it as a touchdown that they fucked up on. Let's say that gentleman over there on the left that couldn't see the goal line, but he's in real time, it's happening so fast that the running back is running towards the goal line. A defender is meeting him at the goal line. The ball is likely a little bit short, but he's seeing the guy's back and he's anticipating that the ball maybe comes a little bit forward and he thinks it crosses the line. I get that he is able to make a mistake and call it a touchdown. But this wording, this garbage wording that they're including in these review systems is comical. It's so silly. You watch the review from the other angle. Even bring that referee over. Say, hey, Jeffrey, you called it a touchdown. Your buddy on the other side who had a much better view didn't call it a touchdown. You should watch the review.
Maybe it's a touchdown.
Maybe it's not egregious and obvious because there's bodies in the way. No shit. There's fucking 22 men on the field, guys. There's going to be bodies in the way of a tackle. Maybe it's not obvious, but it's pretty clear that the guy's holding the ball in his torso. Though he's not holding the ball against his helmet above his head, right? So even if you can't see it, you know where the ball is. And if it's half a yard short, you can't say, oh, well, we couldn't see the ball at the exact moment that his knee touched the ground, so we have to keep the call on the field. You can put a few things together. I'm fucking blown away by how bad this review system has got in 2019.
Yeah. It's painful.
It's not a one-off scenario. It's an every week, multiple times.
Yep.
Something has to change.
I hope something changes, and I hope it changes fast too. So we don't have to it should be the end of the season, reps get together, here's all the changes, this shit's happening. Let's go.
We should send this podcast to the NFL.
As a yearly review of the refs.
I think, I'm pretty sure all we need to do is just say, attention Goodell, right? And it'll get there.
Probably.
It'll get there.
There's only one.
Someone. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I got that out. I feel, you know what? I don't feel fucking better at all. I feel worse because it's, as I'm replaying all these situations in my head, it's just making me more frustrated, Lucas.
Oh my God.
What should we talk about now?
Oh, I don't know.
Should we talk about, there was a couple big upsets in the playoffs this week.
Just mention the other games.
Okay. I would like to congratulate the Kansas City Chiefs for being down 24-0 at the end of the first quarter and then winning the next three quarters 51-7.
51-7.
Could you imagine if they just had a mediocre first quarter? And let's say it's 7-7.
Yeah.
They would have won 58-14.
Travis Kelce, 3 touchdowns in the fucking second quarter.
This is against a team that won their division.
That game was weird, though. There were so many weird turnovers, fumbles that would just pop up into someone else's hand and it would just run straight in. A lot of weird stuff.
It was like a college football game.
They
right?
Yeah, the coaches were like, hey guys, don't worry about defense today. We're just going to fucking let it rain.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like college. It was like schemes just went out the door. They're just like, see what you can do.
You do you, buddy.
Yeah. Throw the ball as far as you can, Mahomes. See what happens.
It worked out.
You know what was one of the most satisfying things I've seen in a long time is how everyone was all over Lamar Jackson's D. Hard.
Yeah.
All over him. Loved him. A lot of praise. Most phenomenal thing to happen in football in years. He got shit pumped, guys. He got shit pumped.
Do you think the Titans just had his number, or they just figured him out? Or
look, I think the guy's a phenomenal athlete. I think he's very good. I think he can be a very good quarterback in the league if he learns how to play smarter. But as someone starting a franchise in the NFL today, he's not in my top 3. Probably not in my top 5. As a quarterback, he's not a legitimate quarterback that wins games today. He's a ridiculous athlete, and I get it. It works really well in the regular season. But
playoffs are
under
different.
Pressure in the playoffs, when 1 or 2 plays kills you, I don't know, man. Obviously, I didn't watch the game super closely because Lucas had a surprise birthday party that he didn't know about, and I had to be there. So I was trying to watch part of it while videotape you as you walked in the door and didn't know what was going on. But they got pumped. And I'm pumped.
I was not expecting that.
No, neither was I. I honestly thought when I saw that spread, I think I said this on last week's podcast. When I saw that spread, I think they were favored by 9.5 or something. I was like, I think Tennessee's better than that. I think it's going to be a good game.
Henry is a beast.
What did I say?
How do you stop Henry now? Henry is a beast.
Carl, fuck you. Delete that spreadsheet, whatever the hell you got there.
Wait, I'm so confused now. What are we talking about? The Titans games?
Yeah. I never said Titans would win. I just said I thought that would be a better game than the spread said it was going to be.
I agree.
Because I think it was minus 9.5 or 10.5 or something.
9.5.
9.5, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what? Are Titans the team to beat now, or like? Oh,
well, KC's offense looked stupid, like so good.
Just put it in the air.
That could be a phenomenal game to watch, like really good. To me, honestly, guys, I think the Niners win by 10 or more, 10 or 13. I don't think Green Bay is that good. I think the Seahawks played like garbage in the first half and almost still won the game, which doesn't make sense. You can just not show up for 2 quarters. I think that KC Tennessee game is going to be very, very fun to watch.
I think Tennessee is going to win it.
It'd be fun, man.
Like, look who they took out. They've taken Baltimore out. They've taken New England out. You're telling me, like they're the Cinderella story going on here.
At the same time, though, Lucas, going into the year, everyone thought KC would be a contender from the beginning, and they literally just got healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing. They had injuries all year.
Just like the last 3 weeks, they've got healthy, and they look very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think that
the first quarter, I don't know what happened in the first quarter. Well, they had a block punt for a touchdown, right? Which kind of fucks with you.
I don't think they repeat what they did last week. I think they got it out of their system, and now they're like, okay, all right, well, that was a good game, and they get shit pumped. Tennessee's gonna walk in there, 31-0, first quarter.
Carl mentioned something before you jumped on the call here, Lucas, that Tannehill had the best QB rating in the league this year. Is that true?
Really?
That's what Carl mentioned to me, and I obviously didn't know that.
I hope I'm right.
I hope you're right too. Otherwise, we're going to sound like idiots on this podcast.
I saw it on the TV somewhere. Let me just double check.
That's crazy if he did.
Right? Because when did he take over?
I want to say like second or third week.
Oh, that early in the year?
Yeah. Pretty early. Pretty early.
He's a little older too, right?
Running back.
Well, Mariota was supposed to be the franchise guy, right? When they drafted him a couple years ago, 3 years ago, whatever.
Yeah, he was the franchise guy. And then Tannehill came in and we're like, nope, okay.
Where's Tannehill before? He's Miami?
Yeah.
Miami, I think.
Yeah, he's in Miami.
Lucas, you good to keep going?
What's that?
You good to keep going?
I got to keep going? What?
Are you good to keep going? What time you got to wrap up?
Oh, yeah, let's wrap up. I got to go.
Oh, I feel like we're on a roll here.
We're talking about Tannehill.
He's your boy now, man.
I feel like we got a lot of good shit here.
Who is Tannehill?
I don't know. I feel like I could just talk about this review system all night.
We need to
maybe we start a fucking review system podcast, Carl.
Maybe we just start calling NFL refs and see who picks up.
Done.
Cool.
I'm going to DM a few tonight.
Can you get the NFL
what are the names?
refs?
122? Remember 122 from the beginning of the year? We ate that guy up for 3 weeks straight.
Oh, did he ref? I wonder if he ref.
No, we had number 32 fuck us this week.
Brutal.
Bastards. All right. Well, you got anything else from last week, Lucas, or you want to go to predictions for this week?
I say let's go to predictions, and I'm going Tennessee and Green Bay. Going upsets, boys.
You're going Green Bay?
I like the upsets. Yeah.
Huh.
Fuck, I don't want San Fran to win shit. You want them in the Super Bowl? Please tell me you don't want them in the Super Bowl.
I don't want them in the Super Bowl. I also don't want the current review system to continue past the season. So it doesn't really seem like my wishes are granted. But what I think is going to happen this week is I think San Fran is going to win by 10. And I think KC wins a close one.
I agree. I think San Francisco is too good, and it's not gonna be that close with the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like fuck. That's a tough one. The Chiefs and the Titans. I have no idea what Titans team is going to show up.
I'm way more excited. I'm obviously, guys, you know that I think the NFC is so much stronger than the AFC. You know that. I've said that so many times this year. But I'm way more excited to watch that Titans-Chiefs game this week than the Packers-Niners game.
For me, flip a coin. I think either of those teams can win.
Totally, hey?
Yeah.
It's funny because, like, literally halfway through the season, did anyone talk about the Titans? No one, right?
Nobody.
No.
Because wasn't Henry injured too for a while? Or
was he?
Or was he not playing because of contract stuff?
I really haven't paid attention to them other than the last 2 weeks.
I don't think anyone has, dude. People probably didn't even know Tennessee had a team until they beat Brady 2 weeks ago.
You know my friend Alex D'Angelo? He had to pick So when I started loving ever since we've been friends, I've loved the NFL. And so he felt like he had to pick an NFL team just to have fun and support a team while we watched NFL together. And guess who he chose? He chose the Tennessee Titans.
Great pick.
Who were 3-39 the year that he chose them. I'm like, why would you choose Tennessee? He's like, I don't know. I kind of like their jerseys.
They've been bad forever.
So bad.
Have they ever been good? Vince Young?
Did they win a Super Bowl?
No.
Remember that? Remember on the kickoff? They were the team that on that kickoff, the guy who caught the kickoff threw it across the entire field and ran down the sideline. And it was it was basically forward. It was right on the line of forward.
I remember that.
I thought they won the Super Bowl that year.
Huh.
Did they? It was probably early 2000s. Probably 15 years ago.
Fuck. I don't know why they use Roman numerals for Super Bowls. It's so tough. They lost to...
they lost the Super Bowl?
Yeah, St. Louis Rams, Kurt Warner.
There you go. Okay, so they made the Super Bowl.
In Super Bowl 34.
This one's 52?
54? 52?
What does it say?
Some crazy ass Roman numerals.
This one's going to be 54.
54.
And Tennessee lost in what year? Oh, here. I got the years here. I got it.
They lost 34? Super Bowl 34. So.
34. Fuck. Not that old. Oh, jeez. 2000.
Right?
Wow. It's 20
years, dude.
20 years ago. Wow. Well, good for them. Took them 20 years to get back.
Hey, I'm back.
We lost Lucas for 5 minutes and we didn't even know. Carl and I were just going off about the Titans.
Carl, what? Do you keep getting phone calls or what?
I don't know what it is.
George.
That's weird. Are you good now?
Anyway.
George is hitting them up. All right.
Anyways.
Okay, let's get out of here. Lucas.
All right, buddy.
Thanks for calling in, brother.
Well, like Lynch says, start taking care of y'all mentals, y'all bodies, and y'all chicks.